Alright there, my hearties, I'm down here back at it again. The first time for ages. Sorry for the lack of videos, but I'm here. Let's see what we can find. I've just spotted something down on the ground. It's a good sign. Let's see what it is. Alright, it's incomplete, but I always think when I see a bit of pipe bowl first, it's a good sign. So I'll just leave that there. But fingers crossed, I'm wearing my lucky Pixies Black Francis t-shirt too, so come on Pixies, give me some good luck. Alright, it's a bit windy and noisy down here today, but I'm gonna do the best I can. I just spotted something here. It's a piece of stoneware and I can tell that's the base. I can tell because of this little frilled bit. So this looks to me like Seaberg or Raring stoneware. And this like frilling bit here would have gone all around the base. So it would have stood up like that. I'll show you a full one for context on the screen, and that is 17th century-ish. Anyone for teeth? Personally, I love good teeth. Oh goodness me, there's a lot of building work going on. There we go, probably a pig, I'm guessing. Nice bit of tooth there. Leave that behind for someone else. I've got a big tooth collection at home. Believe it or not, I'm sure you believe it. And the first of likely many pieces. Can you spot it? The blue and white transferware, 1790s or 20th century. Okay, I've just spotted a really pretty little piece. I'm not actually sure what it is yet. It's down here. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I might have to consult Sir Richard of Hemery. Some incised pattern on there, floral detail. Red clay, glazed on the inside. I'm guessing 19th century, but I could be a bit rusty at the moment because I haven't been down here for a while, and my clay and pottery knowledge seems to have dropped out of my brain, but that's very pretty. I'll let you know what that is. I'll try and work it out first. If I can't, I'll get Richard on the case. Well, I said it'd be the first of many. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Telltale sign here, transferware, crackled on the back. That's the glaze. Look at that. Yes, a lovely piece of willow pattern. What a good shape. I'm keeping that one for sure. So yes, it's got crazing on the back here, and I think that's a telltale sign. Well, of lots of pottery, but I just had a feeling about this one, and that is a lovely piece. All right, I might be battling with the wind a bit here, but I just turned over this big rock, and this was sticking up like that. I thought, aye, let's have a look. It's actually a piece of floor tile, medieval floor tile, and look, you can see there some of the colour, and there yellow, maybe part of a floral design, or is it a fleur-de-lis possibly? I think it might be a piece of fleur-de-lis, but there we go, medieval to post-medieval floor tile. I'm going to do some research on that. Instantly I want to say, oh, a pen type tile. Taking that one home. Just as I'm putting this in my bag, I look down here. Okay, broken again, but look, there we go. 18th century pipe. Well, it's a pipe bowl, isn't it? I must stop saying pipe when it's just a bowl, but there we go. I'll take that and wait for that to dry out and see if there's any tobacco in the bottom there. So, there we go. Well, as I like to do every now and again, I've got a little story time for you. And while I'm telling you it, and we're waiting to get into this, what I hope is an excellent find, I'll just tell you that I've met someone, a stranger, from the island of Orkney, who, and I swear this is one of the few places you can say this about, knows someone that I know from the island of Orkney, because everyone knows everyone else there. Anyway, he's a lovely guy, and he works for the Institute of Archaeology up there. So, I'll see if I can find any info about them and put them on the screen. He found a really lovely piece of stoneware, nice handle there. So yeah, anyway, that's my little story. Now, have you seen what I can see? Keep your fingers crossed for me, okay? Because I'm really hoping, this might be an absolute fail, but here it comes. Okay, what have we got? Nice! I'm saying nice, I can't actually tell what it is yet. You can, oh! The old classic, you can probably see. Very nice. Okay, Britannia, I can make out there. Is that a George or a William? Let's give it a turn. Aha, it's a George. By Jove, it's a George. Right, let me just give it a quick wipe. Some of you numismatists hate it when I do this, but I don't think I'm going to be damaging this lovely coin. It's been tumbled for years. You can always correct me in the comments. Oh, it's a beauty. Well, you know what? It's been a while since I've found one of these. Look at that. Clearly, you can see the Georgius. There is his face. Lovely. I don't think I'm going to show that archaeology chap because he was just walking by this spot. But you know, it's how it goes sometimes. I randomly stopped here. Let's see if we can get a date on this baby. 1775. Gosh, that's a stonker. I am into that coin. Well, hey, nice one. Here's the 1775 George III halfpenny now that I've given it a little clean. Hasn't it come up beautifully? It's taken a knock somewhere along its journey, you can see there, but all in all it's a great looking coin, and I think it's a first issue. And below the spade blade you can see a little ball there. Now, it's alleged by 1708 only 8% of copper coins in circulation were genuine. I don't think mine is a forgery, as the details aren't as crude as others I've seen, and I've got a few in my collection. Little fact about George III, he was a keen student of science, or as the subject was then known, natural philosophy, from an early age. Later in life, of all the scientific instruments he commissioned George Adams to make, the philosophical table is my favourite. Although the mural ark made in 1770 by Jeremiah Sisson is without doubt the most handsome. I gotta tell you, my Lucky Pixies t-shirt, signed no less, is coming up trumps. Look at this. Paw prints? Are we saying? Are we saying paw prints? I think we are, aren't we? I think that is paw prints and a piece of roof tile. Although there's a lack of claw mark at the top. But I mean, that's not fingers, that's paws. Cool, tiny piece, but pleased with it. Let's see if I can save this before the tide comes. There is the piece of, transferware. Sweet. All right, here comes the tide. I'm gonna hop out. Well, I wouldn't normally, but look at this, it's so sweet. And it's all in one piece, so we'll get that washed off. And yeah, can go on my little nature display. Well, I never. I'm in a totally different location, and here is more of that mid-century stuff that I found last time. It looks a little bit different. Oh, I really wish there was some kind of mark on it, but it looks very much like a lot of those mid-century designs. Anyway, I'll leave that one here. I thought it would be the first of many. Here's another piece. A little bit dirty this time. What's this? House and a tree. Sweet. I wonder if that's hand painted rather than transfer. Anyway, few little dots of glaze on there. Sweet little house in a tree. In the metal patch, lots and lots of pins down here. So I'm just going to cast my eye over this area, see if I can spot anything. What's that little lead-like item? And nothing. And lots of these lovely handmade pins all around this area. So with any luck, we'll find something else. I just nabbed this modern penny from down here, and I'm hoping, look at that, so corroded. Our penny's made of alloys. I say penny, it's 5p. Yeah, so corroded. So anyway, that was down here. I can see a washer, a bit bigger, but nice mix of things. I'm hoping there might be another potential coin spot. What have I spotted down here as the tide is bashing in? Here it is. Now, chances are this is just a nice folded up piece of lead. Whenever I see them, I think, yes, it's going to be inscribed with some sort of verse or spell. But no, it's a piece of lead. Anyway, I do like seeing a chunky roll of lead being struck there. Maybe a lead flashing, some kind. A repair job. There it is. Nice tactile thing. Right, I've just spotted something. Let's see if I can grab it before the tide comes to get me. What is it? Oh, it's a nothing. It's a bit of a lead seal. Whoa! Yeah, a bit of a rogue seal or something. Oh, the tide's a menace today. Let's see if it's still going. We're not quite at low tide yet. It's not a low one today, but you know, don't let that put you off. You can still get great finds. All right, when this calms down, I'm going to get back into that spot right there. I'm getting battered out here by the waves today. It's full on. Yeah, this spot here, which I thought might be really productive, actually hasn't turned out to be all that amazing. There are lots of little lead bits, you know, token type things. But I did just bump into Mark, so big shout out to him, and he had found some lovely items. So check out his Instagram page. I'll put the information up on the screen. Yeah, lovely couple of items that he's got, including a really nice bone one. Oh, there's something nice. There we go. Nice bit of pottery there. Yeah, so check out Mark's finds from today on Instagram. He's Mudlark London, and info up on the screen now. And okay, I'll continue. Let's see what else I can find. And there we go, another one, modern. A penny, 2002. And I spy another one over here, another modern one. There we go. Can't make that one out. So, come on, other coins, where are you hiding? So there's a few nice bits of type down here as well. Oh, that's very clearly an N. I found another tiny bit. I've already pocketed it, so I'll have to show you that later. I think it's an N, yeah. Or is it a U? Well, we'll print that when I get home. We'll have a look. Yeah, a few nice bits and pieces. Well, on this latest installment of Is It Something or Is It Absolutely Nothing, there's this folded over piece of lead. So I'm going to try and open that up when I get home. I mean, is it something? Is it nothing? Could be nothing, could be something. Alright, I'll pocket that and we'll see when I get home. Guys, I've got to tell you, it's definitely something. This lump of lead did turn out to be a thing. So check out the unveiling. I'm not going to lie, when I saw this yellow residue inside, I did freak out slightly, thinking it might be anthrax. Okay, a bit melodramatic, but there we are. I hoped, however, it was perhaps an old paint packet or tube all scrungeled up. So let's go through the options of what I thought it might be, because I went quite a roundabout way to what it is. It's lead, we know that. That's a diagnostic clue. My first guess was a folded over token, then a lead drinks bottle capsule. But what about the yellow? So I thought it was paint. Then I started to see some lettering on this lead and thought, could this be makeup? I thought I saw a very feminine signature, Bess, and the branding BB by Bess. A quick research through early 20th century makeup had me stumped. Nothing came up. Giving in to my original hunch, I started to research lead bottle capsules. I found a number of these incredibly fragile, tactile items in the past, but I wasn't convinced about this one, it was so thick. But look what happens here. I pull the 4 parts open. It is actually 4 capsules. So yes, sure enough, after another quick peek through my loop and finding out that BB by Bess was actually RB Bias, it was a matter of moments before records from archaeological dig sites in Australia and New Zealand revealed all. It is indeed a Breweriana artefact. A leaden capsule for Robert B. Bias, porter, stout or ale, made then bottled in London. Now the bottling part is key, not the brewing but the bottling. The diagnostic clues being the made in mark, which was first used in 1877, the lead packaging, the triangle mark, that's a big clue, the trademark triangle. It's actually the trademark of Bass Pale Ale, and it's Britain's oldest trademark, being trademark number 1. So what of our Mr. Bias then? Robert Blake Bias, born 1809 in Arundel, Sussex, was a wine merchant and ale and porter bottler by trade. He came from a very large family with 11 brothers and sisters and 11 aunts and uncles. I said it was large. Bias married firstly Rose Nichol in Chipping Barnet, London in 1834. Weird coincidence, I used to live there. It's coincidence time again, although maybe less coincidence and more of a case of keeping it in the family. The beer family, that is. Rose Nichol's mother was Anne Charrington of the large brewing dynasty. So Rose and Robert, in contrast to his mammoth relative count, had a rather more minimal 2 children of their own, Robert and Harry. Sadly, Rose died young at the age of 30, and Robert went on to marry her sister Elizabeth in 1842 in Bad Homburg, Hessen, Germany. Elizabeth gave birth to a son, Arthur, in 1844, and Robert and Arthur would later join Robert B. Bias in the family business, as presumably Harry, Rose's son, would have had he not sadly died at the very young age of 10 in 1846. Robert B. Bias was trading from 2 Brabant Court, Thomas Place, Limehouse Hole in East London. An interesting little detail to me and myriad Breweriana fans at least. Although Robert B. Bias was not involved in the brewing history of Bass beer, he was the early bottler for Bass, and that's why his name appears on the bottles, labels and capsules, and the Bass insignia, which is British trademark number 1, appears alongside it. From reports of a dig in New Zealand, I have the following information. Robert Blake Bias, early London bottler, supplied home trade as well as export to the colonies, bottling Bass Pale Ale and foreign Guinness. Advertisements for imported Bias's bottled beer appear in the New Zealand newspapers as early as 1842. Now that's research done by Peter Petchy at the University of Otago in New Zealand. So again, another parallel line running with the other research I'm currently carrying out, that of the Georgian letterpurse. The last episode saw us travelling to the colonies in New Zealand to Leontine de la Pasteur, whose daughter married a Charrington. You see links all over the place. For a final little coincidence again, not sure why I'm saying that, as it's a more vested interest than coincidence, Bass and Charrington merged in 1967 to become the largest brewing company in the UK, Bass Charrington Limited. Enough beer for now. What about that wine exportation business? This guy's got more than one string to his bow. In 1844, Robert Blake Bias struck a deal with Manuel Maria González Angel, a young entrepreneur from Jerez de la Frontera, Spain, to import sherry wine. Robert Blake Bias became the first importer of the sherry we now know as Tío Pepe. From the Tío Pepe website. The vision of importing sherry across Europe became a reality. Sherry wine from Jerez is beloved in every corner of the world. The success of exportation gave rise to a partnership with Robert Blake Bias, an English wine merchant and sales agent of Manuel Marias in Great Britain. In 1844, Manuel wrote a letter requesting some butts of the exceptionally pale wine that you recommend so highly.
Those first butts of Tio Pepe were very well received in the United Kingdom. Soon they experienced exponential growth that gradually expanded to other countries in Europe and North America. Check out the fantastic photo of Robert B. Bias striking the sherry deal with Manuel Maria Gonzalez. There's also a bronze bust of Robert B. Bias in Spain in the sherry bodega named after him and Manuel Maria Gonzalez Bias. So if you're ever passing Jerez and while away a few hours in that bodega, remember to say "what ho" to Robert, and please excuse my possibly bad pronunciations. In 1872, on his way back from Egypt, Robert B. Bias died in Dijon, France at the relatively young age of 63. But wow, all of this information from a tiny piece of lead, and this is why I mudlark. It is a navel-gazing idler's dream. Our lead capsule was almost certainly for porter or stout, however, not the sherry. One last thought that I have, the lead capsule was 4 leaves, so that's 4 capsules folded up into one. Was that 4 beers that had been consumed, the lead capsules being fiddled with and squashed together when the drinking had been done? Now that must have been a happy afternoon, I hope, for somebody in Victorian London. Once again, persistence pays off. Okay, the tide's coming. Whee! And there we go. A piece of shrapnel. Get that cleaned up at home. See if it's got any interesting marks on it. Yeah, World War II ground-to-air missile, and the rain has just started. Okay, I just audibly said, oh my god, I don't want to disturb them. But look at this. Isn't this the cutest thing? I spy another hefty chunk of pottery, and it's quite a pretty one, but I don't think that's the pattern. I think that's crazing. Let's have a look. So yeah, fairly modern with a Greek key pattern there. But look at that crazing. That's rather nice. I think I'm going to take that home. I can use that in some artwork. Love that. Something down here has caught my eye. Here it is. Let's see what that is. Is it a stopper? It is! There we go. Bottle stopper. Just saw the end of it peeping out. Haven't had one for a while. I mean, it's had a little nibble off the end, but they're always nice to fill in the missing blanks where my other stoppers should be for bottles I've got. So, long story short, I'm going to put that in one of my bottles. Great! To round off my day with a bit of a heavy load, and why not? Haven't taken a brick home for a while. What's this one? Warnham. Quite a nice one for the garden. This one, what a shame! Damn! Well, I'm not taking both, am I? But what is that? DKI... Oh, that's a shame that that one's broken, because that is a nice one. Or is it that way round? Nah. Well, Warnham, old chap, you're going to come home with me. Alright, I'm going to walk and talk. I hope it's not too distracting. Oh, there's some more noise. I picked up these 2 pieces of torpedo bottle. One to show you. That's a Schweppes water. Bit of Schweppes water there. Torpedo bottle, listen to that chunky glass. Now I picked this one up because in my garden I like to make little houses for all the creatures to run around in. So look, I'm going to bury that a little bit in the soil, and then you've got little creatures that will go in there and nest, wood lice and things. Yeah. Anyway, there you go, there's a torpedo, and I hope you can cope with this camera work. It's a bit wibbly and wobbly. Nice air bubble. So I just yoinked this up, and I can't tell whether it's modern or not. One would assume it is, but I'm gonna take it home anyway,
just in case. And what is that on there? Intriguing. Okay. It's a bit small to be modern.
Of all the dodgy IDs I make, is this modern is right up there with the best. No, it's not modern. I can tell you now. This knife dates from 1380 to 1500. The diagnostic criteria: scale of tang, shoulder bolster, and large hole at the end of the tang with brassy plate. There you go, simple. Actually, it was Simon Moore who helped me ID this knife. Now, the most exciting element to the knife is the clear cutler's mark on the blade, reminiscent of a sun or a water wheel. So thanks to knife expert Simon Moore for identifying the knife for me. And an example of a similar knife can be seen in the Bruegel painting of Flemish folklore character Mad Meg, or Dul Griet.
So we're right at last knockings now, and I've spotted this piece of redware that looks quite nice. It looks promising. There we go. Nice bit of decoration there. Strange to have it on the lid. Oh, I guess that's the seating maybe. For the lid to fit in there, and that's the decoration for the side of the pot, which also would have served as an aid to holding it. But yeah, that's a nice piece. I wonder if it was maybe like that, and then the lid went in there. I'm not sure. That's another one for Hemery, I think. Well, I've got my knee pads off and I'm ready to go home, but look, nice bit of Staffordshire slip, combed slipware, lovely. Love to see it, but I'm going to leave this for someone else. My goodness me, it looks like a biscuit, doesn't it? Nice one. Alright guys, well that's me for another week. Thank you for joining me down here. What a good day it's been. Love that George and the knife. That's an interesting one. So I'll be back soon down here. Big shout out again to Mark, really nice to see him, and also to my new buddy from the Orkney Archaeological Society. I'll put their information in the video description. Until next time.